Water is calling to me to tell me the tales of many centuries. Water is whispering in my ears. Water wants to remind me of the truth we have long forgotten. As the water touches my skin, it cleanses my vision, and I begin to see. This water once rained down from the sky. I rinse my hands with rain. That came down from 1,000 clouds that formed across the oceans all the way from the far east and west. The same water that roamed around the earth and fell down to wash all the lands of all color and gave life to all people and all things. I wash my hands in the river. This water once traveled through streams and rivers throughout the earth and all the lands of our ancestors. And in its path, the grains started to grow that fed the first civilization that once came to be. And the rivers met and grew larger to pour into the seas. I washed myself in the seas that came hand in hand and met the oceans that encompass all the lands. I wash my hands in the oceans that once enveloped the earth, and from within them, the first living cells came to be. I let the water take over. Water that takes on different forms, reforms all things, and reshapes the earth, and gives life to all that ever was and ever will become. I listen to water, to its thousands and thousands of stories of travel through millions and millions of years. Water recites the stories of its treks and transformations in a constant, everlasting cycle, round and round the earth. As the sun shines on the oceans, seas, and rivers, and carries the water back up to the sky to form clouds, to become rain again and again in a loop for millions and millions of years. Water tells the story of all the people from all the land, far east and west, throughout all times. This is the same water that seeped through the roots of the first grain of wheat, and the same water that fell from the eyes of a child in another time in a land far away. Water is always traveling, always in motion, changing form of all things in its way. I wash myself in water over and over. I yearn to hear the stories and learn the lessons of the history it carries through thousands and thousands of years. The stories of all beings and all journeys of the human race in all the places since the beginning of time. Water is the oldest traveler and the most wise. Water has witnessed all that has ever come to be. The forming of civilizations, breakout of wars, people prospering, suffering, kindness, cruelty, injustice. Yet it keeps giving life to all in its path. Water recites bedtime stories of 1,000 nations, and the lullabies of 1,000 tribes, and the cries of 1,000 mothers. I listen to its words. I take in all the stories. I let it cleanse me, and let the wisdom of many centuries seep into my skin. Water has been traveling for 3.8 billion years, staying in one place only for a short while. Water, too, is an immigrant.